Hey folks, Tim Newman with Soft Light Studios bringing you yet again another daily assignment. Today's assignment for August 18th, 2019. Our assignment today is titled Weeds. So, if you go to Google and you look online for pictures of weeds these days, you're not going to get the same images we thought of as kids. Well, that notwithstanding, think about these pesky little plants. They can make for some great images. And before you zap them with Roundup, get some good weed pictures today. All right, let's take a look at our sample images. Well, here we have it, folks, the good old dandelion. And not just the good old dandelion, but the good old dandelion past the yellow phase into the seed pod phase, where it's getting ready to spread across your lawn and make more dandelions. Who wouldn't like a beautiful shot of this as a 24 by 36 canvas on a wall in their home? Nah, just kidding. But I do love the way the seed pods are blowing away and captured in the frame. I like the tack sharp focus in this image and the way it really makes the dandelion stand out in the frame. The depth of field is minimal because it's a macro shot. This is shot at f/22 and we still have pretty quick fall off in our focus, to be expected at that distance from the subject. I think the bouquet back here of the specular highlights in the background looks awesome, and I really like the gradual shift of the color set from yellow to blue-greens at the top. Works really well in my estimation. Here's another weed picture. It's a little stark. It's some overhead light, but I think it works well with the texture of this plant. This is a very stark texture, and I think the stark lighting really sets itself off here. And I think the division in the diagonals of the frame here works really well as the minimal depth of field that you see here. Let's take a look at some of the elements of design that we're concerned with here for this assignment. First of all, lines. Lines are really, really important with weed pictures. They identify the weed, and so do the shapes. They really make it clear what kind of weed you're looking at right away. And then, of course, quality of light is going to matter here a lot. And you can work light a lot of different ways in the outdoor shots, as you recall from the last two images we just took a look at. But definitely something to keep an eye on. Let's take a look at our next sample image. Now, here's some shapes that are immediately recognizable, and I think these crops are becoming popular all throughout California, Colorado, and Washington State, and probably coming soon to a state near you. But I thought you might appreciate a different perspective on weeds. Our next sample image reminds us that weeds don't go away in the winter. They provide nice contrasty subjects that we can shoot in the winter. I like the nod to the rule of thirds here in this frame, the minimal use of depth of field, and the kind of frosty snow texture in that middle field focus that we have here. In our last image, we can see real quickly, there's no reason why we can't combine a weed with other elements in an artistic way. And it's pretty clear that this is the sun in the background here, but I think the minimal depth of field for the focus here works really well with this scene, and it makes it look like that's a little cotton ball of light sitting on top of that weed. I really like the silhouette effect here and the light in the background on it. Well, let's take a look at the rules of composition that we're concerned with. I think we saw a rule of thirds in a lot of these frames, and I would try to work it in your weed pictures. Depth of field is pretty important here, and when you're shooting these as macros, depth of field becomes a pretty automatic thing. Go for that really tiny aperture. Get the most depth of field that you can, and let your close distance to the subject have the background fall off pretty quickly, automatically. Last but not least, color theory. I think this is one of the ways to make really compelling images out of what would be a pretty simplistic subject. Don't forget color theory and how you work the colors in the scene. Just your point of view, where you are sitting in relationship to the weed, up, down, left, right, changes the background entirely. Don't forget that. Let's take a look at our last slide here. Here are our specifications for doing exports if you wish to have your images considered for the semi-monthly image critique. Down below that, you'll see an example file name for today in our naming standard. If none of that makes any sense to you, please view our Update 01 video, for which there is a clickable link in the description below this video. Also, you will find the upload URL down there as a clickable link, so you can easily click on that and upload your images. And last but not least, don't forget to mash the best clickable link of all, that red subscribe button. I know you get tired of hearing that, but I just want as many subscribers checking out this new stuff as possible. All right, folks, go out there and shoot some weed. Weeds, And don't forget, if you can remember while you're shooting them, learning equals skills. Practice equals mastery. We'll see you out there.